Hey, what's up everyone? It's Christian with Reaper Discs. So you found the sport of disc golf. Congratulations first and foremost. I hope you're ready for this sport to take over every aspect of your life and personality. It happens to all of us, and honestly, none of us are that upset about it. It's all right, you're gonna fit in perfectly. But here's now the kind of issue you're faced with, is you have, found yourself in the position of hundreds of thousands of players that have come before you, if not into the millions of people who have found themselves into a quite interesting conundrum. That is, what do I throw? You know, there are a multitude, so many hundreds, if not thousands, I'll put the number right here because I don't honestly know, of the number of PDGA approved golf discs that are currently out there. And bear in mind, that number is going to be to date. More are getting released and approved every year. So as a new player, you can often find yourself just completely swamped wondering, what do I throw? So, of course, like everyone else, you're gonna hit up YouTube, you're gonna hit up Google, everything else, wondering what are the best disc golf discs. And hopefully you're landing on this video rather early because, I hope that I'm gonna be able to kind of keep you from making the mistake that 99% of players ultimately regret making at the very beginning of their playing career. And that is falling down this rabbit hole and looking through at all these super popular, fantastic in their own right discs that just aren't for you. So instead of just going out and picking up a bunch and be like, ooh, Firebird, that sounds like it's a cool name, that's gotta be a good disc, right? Or how about this? The Wraith. Dude, the Wraith is such an awesome disc. I hear, this awesome player by the name of Garrett Gurthey just absolutely throws the Wraith everywhere. It's one of his favorite discs. Heck, he has a tour series, a signature series Wraith. It's gotta be good, right? Okay, what about the GOAT? What about the best distance driver of all time? The disc that just reinvented and revolutionized the distance game, the Destroyer. That has gotta be like the greatest disc for me to just brand new, right out of the gates. Yeah, I want the best. Dude, I want the disc that was in the bag of, the greatest of all time when he won 4 straight world champions. It has his name on it, for Pete's sake, man. That has to be the perfect disc for me to just go out and just absolutely tear down this brand new sport that I just discovered 4 days ago. Nah, you're not him. Let's get you in the right place. So, first and foremost, this isn't really anything about you, per se. Not personally, anyway. It is about you. But it's mainly about the fact that you're brand new. You don't go to the golf course for the very first time, pick up a brand new, Stealth Plus, and just start ripping 330 driver carries with this nice, pretty little high draw, placing shots in. You don't grab a 62-degree wedge and hit Phil Mickelson flop shots off of a super tight lie. Nah, because you're not him. Well, mainly because he's been doing that for years and years, and a majority of his life to be able to get to that spot. Tiger's not the GOAT because Tiger just, walked up to a course one day and said, I think I'm good at this, and just did it. Though I do kind of think that's how that worked with him, but he's different. The fact is, every person who is good at something has put in countless hours of practice, and more practice. It's not just buying good equipment and making yourself good. That's not how this works. Instead, today, I'm going to show you guys the equipment that you need to pick up, not to make yourself better, but to put yourself in the position to get better at the fastest rate. And that's going to be not grabbing a 12-speed driver right off the rip. Let me show you. the top 3 discs that you need as a brand new player to start with. My opinion, these 3 guys right here. And you'll see none of these are high-speed drivers. We'll start with the most pivotal, and arguably if you're going to only pick up one, this is the one you pick up. You need to get a putter. You need to get a putter because, well, like a fantastically good world champion once said, drive for show, putt for dough. This is where you're going to make up most of the strokes is going to be on the green and approaching the green. That's going to take a really good putt and approach disc. If you find one that checks both of those boxes, hey, that's all you really need. Besides, throwing putters is how you learn how to throw properly. You include that caveat there. That's how you properly learn how to throw. Because a putter doesn't hide your mistakes. A putter exemplifies your mistakes and shows you what you need to work on and really makes it blatantly obvious what you need to work on. That being said, don't be afraid of looking bad the first handful of times you throw because, well, we all did. This is just going to help you get better faster. My choice for probably one of the best beginner putters to pick up is going to be the Axiom Proxy. The Proxy is a 3-speed. It's just a touch faster than what typical putt and approaches are, which is a 2-speed. But that's going to help this kind of fit both slots as a putt and approach disc. And if you're wondering what those flight numbers are, hop over to my video on how we explain what flight numbers are, and what they mean, and how you can use those to help choose the disc you want to throw. Back to this. So the Proxy is a relatively neutral flying putter, which means it's not going to turn too awful much. It's not going to fade an awful lot either. For newer players, it's going to be relatively overstable, but that also means that you can rely on it, especially at lower powers. It's also very comfortable in the hand. You can putt with the Proxy relatively well, and just ultimately, it's an all-around good throwing disc. It's extremely comfortable in the hand, has a little bit of maybe a micro bead, but nothing too big and obnoxious on the bottom of the rim there. It's just a really good feeling putter. And I'll throw it real quick on really low power to kind of show you guys why. Oh, I haven't toned down on one of these in a while. All right, let's see if I can get it. Shooting for about 30% power. Okay, yeah. Real low power, probably went about 120, 130 feet. Realistically, that ain't bad. That is not bad at all. And the beauty behind that is it's super controllable. It's going to show you what you need to work on, and you can putt with it. So if you're only going to pick up 2 or 3 discs, or even just 1 disc, go with the Proxy. Now, if you want to branch out, get just a little more distance, something that's going to fly just a little faster, you need to pick up a mid-range. That's going to be kind of like your approach irons, kind of, you know, if you're coming over from golf, that's going to kind of be that, more or less pitching wedge to 8-iron kind of ballpark. My choice for the best beginner mid-range is the Discraft Buzz SS. Now, the Buzz SS, or Buzz Super Straight, is, well, super straight. This thing is relatively understable for, more upper level players, things like that. But for the beginner player, this thing is fantastic to be able to throw on, again, low power and count on getting a very nice straight flight, maybe even a little overstability while being very controllable and getting a little more distance than you will out of that putter. Now, my suggestion would be to get a putter and a mid-range and just learn to play with those two, and then very slowly start branching into a little more kind of diversity, maybe starting to get something a little more overstable, something a little more understable. That way you can bounce back and forth and start getting, again, that diversity in your bag. But, you got to get comfortable with the core elements of what you have first. Now, again, I think the best beginner mid-range is the Buzz SS. And that's just simply because it's extremely controllable. It's got the right amount of flip. It's very, very comfortable, and it's molded off of arguably the #1 mid-range and disc golf disc in general, the Buzz. And having that very similar rim feel and everything like that, it's going to feel comfortable in the hand, and, you know, being able to step up eventually from the Buzz SS to the Buzz, or even the Buzz OS further down the line in your, you know, the more you're able to throw and the better you get, that transition is going to be very, very easy and smooth. Now, let's throw the Buzz SS. Again, I'm going to shoot for like maybe 30% power here, and we'll see just how far out we can get it and keep it on a nice straight line. All right, let's see here. Yep, super straight. Super, super straight. Oh yeah, that did not move off the line at all. Had just a little bit of finish. Yeah, a lot of people who are a little more experienced are gonna see that fly and be like, yeah, it's not a Buzz SS. I was throwing that really, really slow. So for lower power players and beginners, that's perfect right there. Now, if you do want a driver in your bag, I again am going to say, don't pick up anything fast. My suggestion is a Fairway driver at most, and my choice, mainly because of its flight, is going to be the Mint Disc Jackalope. Now, the Jackalope is a very understable, typically Fairway driver, and feels really good in the hand. It's got a nice kind of average rim depth, so it's not too big, but it's also not too shallow. And, you know, beginner players are going to be able to get this thing out, get that distance, and even get to see a little bit of flip out of it. So that being said, this is as fast as I would go. I wouldn't throw anything faster than this whenever you're getting, you know, started. And even then, focus mainly on the putter and mid-range and throwing those. However, if you're faced with one of those holes where you just have a ton of distance, or maybe you're dealing with a little wind and you need something a little faster or with a sharper edge, if you're going to pick up a driver, I suggest the Jackalope. Here's why. All right, again, real low power here. Let's see if I get this thing out there. Oh, I threw it nose up. That's fine. It still went out there. Probably a little further than the Buzz SS did. So I did, again, throw that just a touch nose up, so it might not have gone as far, but that's going to be a common mistake for a lot of beginners. So that being said, even throwing nose up, it still got a little more glide out of it and was able to kind of punch down the fairway. So I would stick with those 3 discs. They're going to be really good. They're going to be very good to learn from. They're going to teach you a lot about your form and what you need to fix. And then they're also going to tell you when you're ready to start moving up to faster, more overstable disc in the future. Now, whenever you feel as though, you know, you're ready to start stepping up, hop over and watch the video on how to tell when you're ready to start implementing high-speed drivers into your bag. Until then, work on perfecting these discs and making sure that you're absolutely spot on with them anytime you pull them out of your bag. Before you know it, your scores are going to start going down and you're going to start playing a ton better. You'll hit more putts, you're going to keep it in the fairway more, and just ultimately, you're going to have more fun out on the course. Whenever you think you're ready, hop over and watch the next video. And again, I'm Christian with Reaper Discs, and I'll see you guys in the next one.